What's going on, guys? It's Corey from SuperKamiGuru9000, and welcome to another one of our unboxing videos for a brand new addition to SuperKamiGuru9000's anime collection. Today we're going to look at the newest iteration in the Bleach anime series, Box Set 13. Alright guys, Box Set 13 is really important. It is the continuation of the awesome Arrancar arc. And I gotta say, of all the covers that I have seen so far for the Bleach series, this is probably my favorite one so far for a number of reasons. First and foremost, it sort of breaks the mold a little bit, you know. It looks completely different from some of the other releases. In fact, I have one of the older ones right here if you guys just want to take a look. Look at that. It's all white, it's all boring, it's got nothing special going on, it's just got Ichigo on the cover. And you know, the back still gives you the same thing. Huge font, gives you a little bit, tell you what's going on in the episode. And they do give you the same thing here, you get all that on the back. But what's cool about this one is they finally give a little bit more character to it. You actually get a little bit of color. And if you can't actually see, there is this great design that is in the background. You can see right behind Nell. And it's just something a little more eye-catching, and it's just something nicer to look at. And they do have that on the back as well. And that does extend to the actual discs inside, but we'll get to that later. The actual cover itself is great because it looks like they're finally starting to use some more detailed imagery for the characters, and for this one they chose Nell, and it just fits perfectly with the set because she happens to be a really huge focal point in what's been going on in the series. And again, like I said, the artwork is just awesome. This is obviously Nell in her adult form, and if you can't actually tell, it looks like it's a little cold in there. Alright guys, now that we've taken a look at the cover, let's take a look at what's inside. Alright, pretty standard for your Shonen Jump DVDs. You know, you get a little slip cover in the front, and you get a little ad for Shonen Jump Alpha. I believe that's their brand new online service. And you got the discs here. Like I said, they're using the same exact design. You can see that's in the background, except that it's just with white. And again, I like this. If you like looking at discs, I guess it's pretty. But it is a little bit better than the other ones. Like I said, the old box sets were a little more inconsistent. If you look at this one right here, you can actually see the first one is blue. The second one is white with Japanese lettering on it, and the other one is just completely different. So all these discs here, you know, they don't really make much sense, but they're a little more consistent here, and they definitely look a lot cooler. But now that we've actually taken a look at the actual cover here, let's talk about the content that you'll see in this box set. Alright guys, now that we have taken a look at the cover and everything, you know, that's all superficial stuff, you know. It's a cool looking cover, but it's all about the episodes this time, and you're going to get episodes 194 through 205, and this is definitely at the height of the Arrancar arc. This is where things start to get really, really serious. Alright guys, now that we've taken a look at the cover and the discs themselves, let's take a look at the actual episodes you're going to get in this set, and there are a lot of great ones. You're going to get episodes 194 all the way to 205, and a lot of these episodes are pure action. In fact, it's right at the height of the Arrancar arc, and we're just coming off the heels of the huge battle between Ichigo and Grimmjow, and it actually picks up right where it left off. And if you're a fan of Ichigo, you're probably not going to like this set. In fact, he spends a lot of the time just sort of lying on the ground going, "Aah!" So he's not going to get to really do anything. On the upside, though, you get a lot of classic characters returning, getting to fight against all of these brand new characters. And you even get a little bit of backstory. In particular, we get to learn a lot about Nell. And if you haven't already noticed, of course, she's an adult on this cover, but all the other times we saw her before, she was a child. We're actually going to learn the secrets behind Nell's past and the rocky battles that she had with Notoira, who is another member of the Espada. And speaking of Notoira, you actually get to see a huge battle between him and Nell in the present, where you get to see Nell use her actual abilities in battle, and that's just a really epic one. But it's when the captains come from Soul Society into Hueco Mundo when things really start to pick up. The first huge battle you're going to get Byakuya, and he is fighting against the 7th Espada, Zamari Raru, and honestly, one of the weirdest fights I've seen in the entire series. I really can't do it any justice by describing it. It starts out kind of like a normal Bleach fight, and then it just evolves into this like monster battle, and it's just completely insane and really, really intense. And it just gets better from there, because now you have the battle between the huge, mad scientists in the series. You have Mayuri Kuratsuchi, who's that crazy guy who looks like a bad guy, but he's actually a good guy. And he's fighting against the guy who's a bad guy, but actually looks like a good guy. It's kind of weird. He's fighting against Xyle Opero, who is another member of the Espada, who is just this insane guy who creates these dolls of people who basically just torches them. And basically it's just a huge battle of wits between the two. There is a little bit of action, but really the highlight of this battle is getting to see their two minds go at it. It's really intense, but the actual set itself ends with a ton of really raw action. For all you action junkies, you get Kenpachi, who is easily one of the most fun characters to watch, and he is fighting against Notoira in his released state, which is just easily the most action-packed part of the entire set. And, you know, Kenpachi, he's just so much fun to watch. He's an insane son of a bitch and just tears up everything in his path. And if you know his character, chances are you know how that fight's going to end up. But the end of the set actually teases us with a little bit more of the stuff that's actually going to be happening in the very end of the Arrancar arc. We get to see Aizen is finally leaving to Karakura Town, where he's actually about to battle with all of the different captains in the fake Karakura Town. And we get to see that Ichigo and his friends are actually stuck in Hueco Mundo. And this is where they start to pick up and drive towards the end of the Arrancar arc, even though it is going to last very, very long. And, you know, but there's still a lot of battles to come and everything. But if there's only one thing I could complain about at this box set, like I said, it goes all the way to episodes 205. The last 2 episodes are filler. And they're filler that just sort of come out of nowhere. Like I said, the story and the Arrancar story just sort of stops, and then they immediately go to this filler almost as if, you know, they had no idea what was going on. The filler aren't awful. They're incredibly unnecessary, and they don't really add anything to the actual story or mythos of Bleach. But that's only 2 episodes on the disc, so just skip the last 2, watch everything else, you're really going to enjoy it. So, guys, this is Bleach Box Set 13. If you guys have been following the series, this is a really good one to pick up, because you have 3 Espada members fighting against 3 captains. A lot of important stuff is going down, and it's also setting up the final events of this arc at the very end. So you guys need to check this one out. Awesome box set.
Anything you want to say to your people, Corey?
My people. Set them free. If you're a fan of Ichigo, you're probably going to be slightly disappointed because he...